And welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards and, hey, straight up channeling. I am so excited to be here this week. We just witnessed a full moon in Gemini. It was our last goddess gathering of the year. So we had loads of women pile into the mill. And it was really incredible to see, one, the growth that we've all experienced this year. Two, the fact that we're all kind of in this boat of like, it's been good, but it's also been really challenging and really hard. And three, this is really where we're getting clear on what does our internal dialogue sound like. I always say, this is like the tagline to Shine School. You are only as strong as your self-talk. And with it being a full moon in Gemini that we had on Monday, it's having us to highlight and it's showcasing where we can shift the way that we speak about ourselves internally so that we can take more courageous action. We can show up more confidently or authentically. The way that we speak to ourselves dictates how bright we shine, essentially. And when we have beliefs that are rooted in not being good enough, not worthy, not whatever enough, then we tend to kind of live up to that expectation, even though the expectation is a limitation. It's like putting a cap on us when we could just pull it off and say, I believe that I am worthy and valuable and I'm here to make a difference. But the way that we talk about ourselves usually steers the direction of your boat. Like, am I going to do that? Am I going to start that blog? Am I going to film that course? Am I going to host that retreat or do that or write that book or make that art? I think with this full moon in Gemini that we've experienced this week, it's a really powerful time to just check in with ourselves, I feel like even though it's not Mercury retrograde, I'm pretending like it is in my own life. And I'm going through a major purging process in my social media, who I'm following, in my business, in how I run my systems and operations. Like, is this necessary? Is this extra business expense? Do I even use this membership that I'm in? I've been really being intentional and mindful about letting go of before we get to the new year, because we all want to make new goals and new intentions and set all these high, lofty experiences for ourselves when it's a new year, which you guys have seen the math. It's like by the second week of January, everyone's goals are like, and tanked. So my thought is, let's approach this a little differently. What if we started now letting go of our to-do list, letting go of what doesn't work, letting go of toxic relationships, literally releasing so that we have all this empty space for the universe to fill with those big ideas. We already kind of have a vision of like what we want moving forward in the next year, but we can't grab onto it when we're too busy clogged up with the old energy that's outdated and unaligned. So with that being said, I want to just check in and tune in with you guys. I'm going to say hello to everyone who's live, just checking in. Oh my gosh, Sarai's in the house, Vic's in the house. It's so good to see everyone. Miss Brooke, Leanne, I'm just loving seeing everyone here. And even Eleanor, who was at our goddess gathering. So it's just so incredible to see this community come together and to really tap into this collective energy. We're kind of all going through the shift together where we are literally 7 or aboving our entire life. And I have a feeling that you're probably doing that too. Just getting clear on what aligns with me, what feels good. And I want to know, what is the biggest thing that you're celebrating? I know we're not even into December yet, and I'm pretending like it's 2024. Every time I try to write the year, like 2024 comes out. I'm like, I think I'm ready for that. So I want to know, what is the biggest celebration that you have experienced in this particular year? It's so easy to focus on the one thing that went wrong when we have 10 things that are going right. So I want to just take a moment to pause and tune in. Take a deep breath. What are you proud of this year? What are you proud of yourself for doing, for stopping, for starting, continuing? What are you most proud of? Drop that in the comments below. And I'm just going to take a moment to catch up with everyone. Let's freaking go end of year as best as we can. Yeah, I want to really start moving into the new calendar year with an empty slate. So I've been going through my Asana and I've been going through my Slack and I've been checking off to-dos or deleting them or moving them to next year because it just didn't work out this year. So I've been recalibrating, reorganizing, and restructuring essentially how I show up in my daily routines, in my business, in all of my businesses, because the routine that I show up with to be online and to coach and to host retreats is a different routine than me going into the salon and serving and doing hair. So I think it's important to reassess all of our routines. All right, let me just check in. Let me pull up the comments over here on Facebook. Facebook. Oh my gosh, so good to see you all. Yay. So I am going to pull some cards from the Shine from the Inside Oracle with the intention that we get clear on how we can best, let's see what our intention is for today. At the Goddess Retreat, before I did the sound bowls, I set the intention to how can we most authentically show up for ourselves? So I kind of want to carry that energy because we're talking about the full moon in Gemini that we experience. So how we communicate with ourselves, and communication with ourselves also lends to how we authentically show up and express ourselves in the outside world. So I think I'm going to keep on with this authentic communication style. Like, how can we authentically, here's the intention, how can we authentically express ourselves? I think that's really where we're at. Oh my gosh, this was one of the cards that came up from the gathering. It was sitting on top of the pile. Align your intentions with your actions. That was the first card that came up in that pool at the Goddess Gathering. I was like, y'all, this is the first card of the deck, and it's all about getting clear on your actions and making sure that your intentions are set to the direction that you're going. Crazy. Okay. I'm so proud of how much I've grown on a personal level, up leveling big time. Yes, you are. Throat chakra unblocked. It's been incredible to witness you come into your authentic expression and share your wisdom. Oh my gosh, your inspirational words, game changer. And speaking of, I don't know why that just made me think of it, talking about having the courage to do something new or to share something new. Last night, I don't know what, I deleted like hundreds of people off my social media, and I don't know how that turned into, well, you know, I think since I'm kind of over the social media thing, what if I've had this Facebook group, the Shine Tribe Sisterhood, for over 6 years. Love it to pieces. Don't love the platform. And a lot of the gals that are coming into my reality and my world now are like, I don't even have a Facebook. Some of the girls that come to our retreat to join the messenger chat will have to make a Facebook just so that they can join. So I think we're switching to Voxer next year for the retreat gals. But most importantly, I started thinking about where my community lives. And we had my Instagram account deleted. So who's to say that that couldn't happen to my Facebook group? So as you probably know, if you've bought a course or coaching from me, you've seen that I do everything inside of Kajabi. I've been a founding member with Kajabi since before 2015. And I have used this platform to send my emails, to host my courses, to create offers for my retreats, to make funnels for OVOs and things like that. I've used Kajabi for literally everything. I love sharing about it because it's the 're1 business tool that has helped me grow and expand. Why am I telling you about Kajabi? What the hell? I feel like I just got, I'm like, why am I talking about Kajabi right now? Although next year I do feel called to teach a masterclass on how I set up all my courses, my programs. I even have an affiliate for Kajabi. So if you're someone who's like, I want to learn how to do that, sign up with me and I'll teach you how. So that's kind of where my head's at. But all of that to be said, Kajabi is my go-to platform. It's like where I definitely log in on a daily basis, obviously Instagram, but I'm trying to find how can I simplify my life, my business, and streamline where everything is. And Kajabi has this incredible app so that you can access the Elevated Life membership, all of my courses, my coaching, my program. And now I've been sitting on this for an entire year. We built this back in January. When I looked at when the creation date was, it was like January of 2023. What have we been doing? But if I'm being honest and fully transparent, I felt like I was starting over. I spent 6+ years growing this Facebook group to 10,000 women, but yet I can post and 94 people see it out of 10,000. So that just doesn't feel like good odds to me. And I wanted to streamline. Simplify is my vision right now, simplifying everything in my life. So to simplify where I show up and how I'm posting to 900 channels, I thought, what if we built the community in Kajabi? There's a leadership board. So we've got challenges, we've got points, we've got badges. We even have a local goddess search so you can find the women in your area. There's just so many cool things that are capable in this community platform in Kajabi, including going live. So I may even switch my Woo Woo Wednesdays over to this live platform. I'm experimenting. So y'all, I would love feedback. Let me know what you like, what feels good. I know I posted it yesterday in the group. I'm going to send an email tonight when I share Woo Woo Wednesday about migrating over to this new platform. Well, it's not new. Kajabi's not new to us, but just a new way of showing up to connect with your community. So all of that to be said, if you're someone who wants to be a part of this portal and transition off of the social medias, but still be social and connected, then drop the word community in the chat. I'll go back and send you the link so you can join. Or you can go, actually, I think I made a link. You could go to BritneyCarmichael.com/community, and that will get you signed up for our free portal of Sacred Sisterhood that's no longer on social media. So I'm so excited to dive in. I set up challenges last night. I even did a selfie challenge where you take a picture of yourself and post it and just introduce yourself so that we can get engagement going. After hosting 5 years of goddess gatherings every full moon, I realized the one thing we need so deeply in our lives is community. It's our root chakra foundation. When we talk about my coaching and my retreat curriculum, we work through the chakra system, and the base is our root. Our root is connected to community, to abundance and finances, how we receive and give money. It is related to our tribe, our friendship, our family. Like, it's the foundation of all of the spiritual work that we build upon. So if we don't have a community that we can lean into or plug into when our fear is out of control, or we're doubting ourselves, or we just need like a good laugh and a good sisterhood, like, hey, how do you make your vegan stuffing? Okay. Like, when you just need that type of community, if you don't have it, your root chakra is going to be unbalanced. And then it's going to be impossible to build up through creativity, courage and willpower, forgiveness and love, creative expression, intuition and visualization, interconnectedness with like the divine. You can't build upon that system if you don't have a solid foundation. It's like building a house. You know that that's true. If your foundation is shit, your walls crack, your pipes bust, like all the things. Like, you can't, we lived in a trailer growing up. So when our foundation was off, AKA the cinder blocks, you would just, you can't open and close the door. It like just doesn't latch anymore. So when the foundation is off, there's like a song about that. Like, when there's cracks in the foundation about the relationship, right? So the same is true in your life, your business, your energy, and your support system. So I share that because I needed community. I was looking for community, and I'm sure that if you're here, you felt the same way. So that's why we're making the swap. We're headed over to communities in Kajabi. So I digress. That was, we're expressing ourselves with the full moon in Gemini. So that's my random creative expression that came through this week. Hello, Rich. I love that. I had the courage to leave the table, toxic family relationships, and set my own table and set it the way I needed it for me because I was outgrowing the stagnancy. Ooh, Lori, that is powerful. Your voice change is hilariously impressive. You know, I got to keep y'all guessing. I got to keep it fresh and fun. Chris absolutely does not like the way that I impersonate him with my voices. He's like, do I really sound like that? I'm like, yeah, no. So he doesn't like that one, but it's fine. We're going to keep doing it. So thank you for that. Okay. Let's take a deep breath. Let's come back to center. I'm going to pull up these comments just to make sure everyone's here. Whew. Okay. Let's take a big deep breath in. And then exhale, send our energy back down to the ground, bring us back here. I'm like all up in Gemini. We're in the airy signs, like we are all up here in our head. So we're going to root back down into our body. And the intention that we're going to set today is how can we continue or start to creatively and authentically express ourselves. So I'm excited to see what comes up. If you guys are ready for that, hit some hearts, drop ready in the chat, let me know, and we'll get this magic going. So I'm just going to clear the deck and set the intention. What is it that we can focus on to continue or have the courage to creatively express our authentic self? Okay, here we go. Hi, babe. Me and Eva are watching from the salon. Oh, I missed the dance party that we had back in May. It was so fun to get to pull some cards for your client, to dance to Prince. I just freaking love girl power. That's what I'm talking about. Like, so good. All right, let's see what comes up. Let's freaking go. Ready. You guys are amazing. I'm so excited to be here. I know it's been maybe a week or so since we did a live, so this is going to be exciting. What do we need to know to stay in alignment with our authenticity? How can we continue to creatively express our authentic self? What do we need to know? Ooh, that one flipped up. I saw that one. She's telling the truth this week. The cards are gonna keep you in check, my friend. All right, how can we continue to authentically and creatively express ourselves? What will you have us know? Y'all, patience is the lesson today. What do we need to know? Boom. Card number 2. And one more. Y'all, send some sparkle magic. Like, let's get that sparkle magic going. Oh, it worked. Okay, loves. We've got our 3 cards for the week. Set this off, grab a drink real quick. Cheers to you guys. And let's roll. The first card that came up for this week is set your intentions with heart and soul. Set your intentions with heart and soul. So when we talk about creatively expressing ourselves, and I mentioned the align your actions with your intentions card that popped up at the goddess gathering, this is essentially the same card. We want to get clear on what are our intentions, right? Once we're clear on our intentions, then our actions need to align with that. That's what that other card was talking about. But set your intentions with heart and soul is about asking that question, what do I really want? What lights me up? What brings me joy? What could be fun for me? One of my goddess retreaters actually reached out. I did a Q&A poll on my stories last week. And the question she asked was, what do you see for me? Well, as much as I love being psychic and seeing future visions, the truth is that that vision can shift and change based on your decision. So my advice was not to just give her like, well, I see you doing this. My advice was asking the question, well, what would bring you joy and fun and fulfillment in this next chapter of your life? Because that essentially is what I see for the future. I see more people getting clear on what the fuck they want, what brings them joy, what lights you up, and just committing to do that. Like, for example, in my hair career, I don't care about doing gray coverage. I don't care about doing men's haircut. Okay, I'm gonna do a little gray. Let me rephrase, because my doctor client's gonna be like, bitch, I'll see you in 4 weeks, okay? I absolutely cannot stand doing men's hair, period. Don't do it unless you have long hair like Chris, which is why I had him grow it out when I was in beauty school. I can't do anything with clippers. Are you kidding me? Not my jam, have zero interest in it. I don't feel obligated to do men's hair. I don't feel bad saying no to men if they want to come into the salon. It's doing what is authentically aligned with my skill set and my passion. And so for me to do men's hair, I would be showing up half-assed, right? So where in your life are you showing up half-assed, where you don't really want to be there? You're like, I'm just doing it because I got to do it because I've always done it because it pays the bills. Like, you have the power to choose to change. And just because you've done it one way forever doesn't mean you have to stay that way. That's why people get stuck. And actually, that was part of the conversation that we had on our podcast interview today, which will be coming out soon. Our friend Erica Ramelli. If you didn't hear her episode on healing with herbs and plants, then you definitely want to go back and check it out. But stay tuned for this next episode that's coming out soon. This week is on cannabis reformation and how to use it for children's healing, which is a hell of a spicy topic. I'm so excited to share on Friday. But I think the following week is when we'll have that come out, since holiday seasons are around us. And we talked all about how to manage your stress and anxiety during this time. We talked about finances. We talked about grief. We talked about gift giving. It was an incredible conversation. But all that to be said, coming back to do what feels good for you. Do what feels right for you. Do what is fun for you. And I said on that podcast, I feel like no one thinks they have permission. And I always say, I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission, because it's not me, it's you. It's you making that decision. And this card is one of those, like Dorothy with her sparkly shoes decision cards. Set your intentions with heart and soul. What do you want? That is the most important question. And if the answer is, I don't know, here's the real truth. Yeah, you do. You're just pretending not to. I had a woman at the gathering say, I don't know what I want to do in 2024. I said, okay, if you could wave a magic wand and there was no limitations and no hurdles, like, what do you want to do? And she's like, oh, well, I want to do this, this, and this, and I want to help in holistic healing, coaching, and this and that. And I was like, bitch, you know exactly what you want to do. You're just pretending that you don't, because your belief system isn't in alignment saying that I am capable or worthy of doing this. So I guarantee every client I've ever coached, when I say, well, what do you want? Well, I don't know. Well, what would it be if you did? Because you're the only one that can know. So I get pumped up and fired up because I want to remind you that no one outside of you, no coach, no leader, no president is going to fucking come give you the answer of what your life purpose is. Your life purpose is to have fun and to feel good and to discover yourself. So if you're not setting your intentions to align with you and what feels good for you, like, you'll never see me like cutting men's hair. You'll never see me on a golf course. Okay, that's not true. I do like carting around. You'll never see me, I don't know, eating meat, right? The things that I don't want in my life, I choose not to associate with. It's that simple. You get to choose. You get to choose where you show up for work. You get to choose your friends. You get to choose your outfit. And we've forgotten that we have that power of choice. So this is my reminder to set your intentions with heart and soul, because only you can decide. Ooh, I'm getting fired up. You do you, babe. Literally see no excitement in not being ourselves. An entire world of the same would be deflating. I love how many differences there are with every individual. That's the point. We're not here to be cookie cutters. Like, not even twins are the same. Okay. So we are not here to replicate and follow other people's way of being. Sure, if you're inspired by something, like you like my nighttime rituals or my orgasm midday like routine, like cool, like borrow that, but only if it feels good for you and you're not doing it just because you think it's gonna do something extra for you because so-and-so did it. Like I was on a coaching call with Natalie Ellis from Boss Babe today, and she talked about how, y'all, I've done a lot of podcasting today, my brain. What was I talking about? Why? Hold on. What did she say on the call today? Nope, it's totally fleeted my brain. So we'll come back to that if it comes back. So moving on to the next card, being yourself, differences, expressing yourself, cookie cutter. I know it was a good one. I can't remember. Anywho, let's carry on. The next card that comes up is that your soul whispers love and your ego shouts fear, right? So this is an interesting card. We've got set your intentions. I'm like, what's the word? Set your intentions with heart and soul. And then your soul whispers love and your ego shouts fear. So what does this mean? It means that I don't know is your ego shouting. Your heart is your soul whispering and saying, I wish I could help people. I want to be of service. I want to create more. I wish I could have pink hair. I would love to like go vegan, but no one in Texas will accept me. Like your soul is whispering to you that next step, that nudge of like what feels good, what you want more of in your life. But your ego is shouting that fear of like why it's not possible or that belief isn't true. So when we talk about setting our heart and soul, when we talk about setting our intentions with heart and soul, we have to get quiet. We have to go inward and ask that question. What do I want? What brings me joy? We can't just like, okay, cool, we could do a journal exercise and I have a whole friggin' free PDF on discovering your passions to help you get there. And that's a great start. So if you're like, I am absolutely confused, I don't even know where to begin, let's start with the free Discover Your Passions PDF. You can go to BritneyCarmichael.com/passion, and that will get you opted in for a free 30 questionnaire journal prompt to help you dig deeper and figure out what is it that you want, because so often our mind is shouting and we can't hear over that negative voice. We talked about earlier that full moon in Gemini is about allowing that creative conversation, the way that you speak to yourself internally, then, influence on the external. When we're shouting those negative stories to ourselves, it's impossible to hear our soul whispering love, offering that next bit of guidance. But when it feels good, that's from your soul. When it feels deflating, defeating, not good, that's your ego. And if you are feeling like stuck in that not good, like I can't make that decision, I don't know what feels good in my life, it's because you're tuning in here and not here. You are right. Fear of judgment. I'm good most of the time, but sometimes I fall back into the habit of what I was taught to people please. I have to practice every day. People pleasing is interesting. I always say people please yourself. Like, what if your approach was to please you before you like went out and bent over backwards and like contorted yourself to fit into someone else's like idea of perception of like perfect? Because the truth is, when we people please, we're doing it because we hope that they give us love back in return. But when you give yourself love first, you take everyone else off the hook because you don't need it. You don't need it from anyone else. You people please because you need love from an external source is why you think. You think that if I people please, I'm going to get love back. Like, surely if I tell him everything he wants to hear, I'm going to get that love. People pleasing is another word for not loving yourself, right? So when we can give ourselves that love, when we can get comfortable in the silence of our own mind, or rather the crazy chatter in our own mind, and we start to maneuver the relationship that we have with ourselves, we no longer people please. We stop doing that because you don't owe me anything. I don't need anything from you. Chris said he had, growing up, had a very tumultuous childhood, abusive dad, and his dad would just take everything away from him as punishment. So he learned to not need or want any external stuff. That's why I can't buy Chris a damn present, because he's like, I don't need it. I don't want it. He learned that if it can be taken away, then it's not truly yours, right? So I want you to think about people pleasing yourself first, giving yourself the love that you're looking for in that like weird mask wearing that you're doing. Yeah. I still go back to the journal prompts when I feel stuck with words and need to get stuff out. Love it. Oh, so glad to hear that feedback. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to just check in. What else? Anything else? Okay. Last card for the week. Whew, I feel like I am coming in hot today. It must have been, like I said, it was my pedicure this morning and then all the amazing podcasts that we did. Keep your thoughts positive. You guys see the theme here? It's like all purple vibes. We're talking crown chakra. Oh, so good. So keep your thoughts positive. Here we go. Back to beliefs, back to the negative story that we tell ourselves. I mean, could it be any more perfect? Keep your thoughts positive. So the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we believe that we are, who we are, dictates how we show up in the relationships that we attract into our life. So if you have this negative story that you tell yourself, here was an example of one of my past ones. My negative story that I told myself was, people judge me because I have tattoos. I live in Texas, pink hair, piercings in my face. Like, I was a little different for here. It's getting better. More weirdos are coming to the area, but I used the story 10, 15 years ago that people judge me because I have tattoos. And you know what I got? A lot of fucking judgment from old lady peoples who didn't like my tattoos and thought I was going to hell for them, because I was a magnet and an attractor for what my thought was focused on. The moment I had this realization, I looked down at my tattoos and I was like, oh my God, this is that time in 2011 when I was like feeling really lost and needed some inspiration. This is my grandmother's freaking signature because she's like my mom. She's like the maternal influence in my life. This lotus flower on my arm over here, the purple one, was what I got right after high school because I was stepping into my own spirit. I didn't know that the purple lotus was crown chakra, like spiritual psychic shit. I didn't know it, but I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I started looking at like the thing on my thigh and the thing on my feet and the matching tattoo I have back here and the tattoos back here, right? I started realizing all of these tattoos were chapters of my life. They were, if you looked at my body, you would be like, oh, well, at least if I looked at my body, I could look down and be like, that's the roadmap of my spiritual healing and growth. Holy shit, y'all, that's huge. That's epic. And it's so much more beyond old ladies judging me because I have ink on my skin. And when I made that realization, when I made that switch, everything changed. Talk about Shift, my newest program, Shift, on navigating change and the unknown and shifting our mindset. When I made that shift, everything changed. I started attracting women at Target coming up to me that are old as hell, being like, oh my God, I love your tattoos. I've been thinking about getting my very first one. What do you think? What should I get? I'm sorry, this is the same Target that I stood at for the last 5 years, where all the old ladies like judged me up and down and like gave me those death stares. And one simple shift. I didn't change locations. I didn't change bodysuits. I didn't change anything but my own mindset. And that's when I started attracting people who appreciated my work. Actually, I started attracting people who thought I was a tattoo artist. Like, do you do tattoos? Like, no. So I share that because when I see keep your thoughts positive, along with set your intentions with heart and soul, and your soul whispers love, your ego shouts fear. This is a very clear message that you have the power. You have the power. You are in control, and it starts in here. How you think, how you feel essentially creates a story in your mind of what you're thinking of. Your thinking creates a belief. Your belief creates action, and then you create a habit, right? You see how this one thing starts stemming. So if that feeling that you're feeling is unworthy or unlovable, or you don't fit in, or you're lacking, then you're going to start to create stories in your mind that say, yep, that must be true. So because I feel unlovable, see, that boy doesn't like me, and that boy doesn't like me, and I don't have any coaching clients. Like, you start to create stories and narratives that reflect the feeling that you're going through. So when we talk about keeping our thoughts positive, it's essentially changing the way that we feel on the inside, because when we choose to change our thoughts, the rest of the flow tends to unfold. So when we think positively, we feel better, right? When we think about things that we don't like, it makes our body feel like shit, like it's actually happening. And being married to a hypnotist, I know that our subconscious doesn't know the difference between what we imagine and what is real. It's like watching a sad movie and you're crying, but it's not actually happening in your life. But your body and your subconscious doesn't know the difference. So when we talk about keeping our thoughts positive, although it may seem frivolous or like it's fake or it's not working, we're actually reprogramming and recalibrating our entire body and the way that it responds. So keep your thoughts positive, get quiet to turn off that crazy monkey mind, tune into the heart and ask yourself, what do I really want? What brings me joy? And I'm going to tell y'all, I've been asking myself that question since Noodles died. It's nothing like having your child die to start asking questions like, well, what's next for me? And my next vision for what I want, for what's authentically aligned for me, looks like a 180 to the life I'm living right now. I won't be in the city. I'll be traveling. I won't even have a freaking mortgage. Like I'm out. I don't even want that anymore. I realized when we went to Bali, we spent more on this condo than we did an entire month in Bali. Like, you mean I could live in Bali for the same price that I'm paying to live in this city? Like what? So my future vision next year, y'all get ready for the wildest show because next year is about to be like abracadabra. Things are changing big time over here. And I'm looking forward to see where we end up. I don't have the full clarity. I just know I'm ready for change. So you don't always have to know the exact endpoint. You just have to know the feeling of what you want to get there. Okay, I'm going to check in with your comments. Woohoo, finished my first book a few days ago. I'm thinking that's Anne. Oh my gosh, yes, queen. Work is that thing I have been doing, venturing now into something more aligned with a creative passion. I think that's so powerful. You have the choice. You get to decide. Whew, okay, let's recap and see which card resonates most with you. Is it set your intentions with heart and soul? Your soul whispers love, your ego shouts fear, or keep your thoughts positive today? Where are you sitting in today's wisdom reading? This has been an absolute pleasure getting to show up and share. I think I'm still riding on a high from the last goddess gathering of the year. So it's crazy. I'm like, I told myself that that's our last event for the year. I'm like, I'm good. I'm done until 2024. Like the next big thing, well, I know there's a couple things before that are going to pop up, but the next real big thing is our goddess retreat in Costa Rica in April. So I'm like, I've got time. I'm good. Like I can take a breather. It feels really nice. So I'm excited to allow for this space. This is my encouragement to you. This is how I'm going to end today. Create space from now until the end of the year. Start eliminating, start releasing, start letting go, start knocking off your to-do list, not necessarily doing it unless you need to, but deleting it if it's not in alignment with who you are or where you want to go now. Because there's some things on my to-do list that were like creating courses that aren't even things I want to talk about anymore. So that's just out. You don't have to feel obligated to do the thing you said you were going to do. Now, there's a fine line between procrastination and actually having courage to commit to something. So there's that, but also don't feel like obligated to do things that you used to do. I honestly almost didn't get on today live on Woo Wednesday because I'm trying to break all of my habits, my routines, and how I show up in my business to recreate them in a new, fresh, and fun way. But I keep showing up. I keep getting on the lives. So you know what that tells me? I love it. It feels so good. I love joining you guys here on this. And if you know someone who would love this message, please spread the good vibes. Tag your soul sisters, tag your friends, share it, post it on your stories, like whatever you can do to get those good vibes and sparkle magic out there. It means the world to me. So I want to know, what are you letting go of? What are you releasing in 2023 so that we can make room for our big, freaking juicy, orgasmic visions of 2024? Hi, Tamlin. It's so good to see you. Purging what does not serve you. Yes, let it go. Let it go. Oh no, don't break up with Woo Woo Wednesdays. Well, that's also kind of, I've tried to break up with it over the last year. And all of y'all keep being like, hey, are you going live? When's your next Woo Woo Wednesday? So I'm like, okay, clearly that's what you guys want. And I love doing it. So we're going to keep that in the mix. But we may change it up and move it over to the portal in Kajabi in our community. So as I was mentioning earlier, if you're just now tuning in, we are moving our Facebook group, the Shine Tribe Sisterhood, over to our Kajabi community platform. So drop community in the chat or go to BritneyCarmichael.com/community, and that will get you opted into this new free sacred portal space for all of our sisters to join. Okay, any last little bit? Okay, some of you are asking, how do I get a reading? If you want to book a personal one-on-one reading with me, all you have to do is go to BritneyCarmichael.com/tarot and sign up, or just send me a DM. Let's start the conversation. How can I support you? I love hearing about your goals. I want to know what you're proud of, what you're letting go of, and what your big vision is for 2024. So reach out, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Ego with my husband, that's my release. Ooh, interesting. I would love to know more. Send me a DM. Tell me about that. Awesome community. I'm releasing Shane. Well, maybe we are releasing Shane as well. We are letting that go. I'm just checking in on everyone's messages. Purging. Yep. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Hello, love. If you're just tuning in, please go back and watch the video once we post it. But I think that wraps up today's beautiful Woo Woo Wednesday reading. We had a full moon in Gemini, so use the energy that's, as the moon starts to wane, use that energy to start assessing and really reevaluating where those stories are what those stories are that you tell yourself. And if they don't align with where you want to go, if they don't pump you up and make you feel good, if they're not like Brit Carmichael cheering you on, then it's time. It's time to break up with the shitty thoughts and stories that we tell ourselves. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you next week because clearly I can't quit Woo Woo Wednesday. Love you guys. Peace out. Bye.